taking some of those basics to the next level and just being outliers in some of those areas. But we'll grab us a grand and reserve out of this division. Let's go ahead and congratulate all of these guys out here.
Your champion heavyweight market meat goat was number 311 Leroy Reckman, and your reserve was number 244 Jenna Washler. Our champion award was sponsored by the Kreischer family, and our reserve was sponsored by the Kendallville Animal Hospital. We're going to be bringing in our last class of meat goats. This is class number 9, our county-born market meat goat class. In this class, we're looking for 294 Marissa Lerman, 14 Addison Brown, and 102 Kirsten Haynes. Just as a reminder, we'll be doing our meat goat showmanship after our grand drive, and our peewees will be after showmanship for both dairy and meat goat.
All right, so like I said, this is our county-born market meat goat class. These entries are 84 to 93 pounds, and all of these goats were born here in DeKalb County by some of our breeders here in the county. And so it's great to be able to exhibit what our own DeKalb County citizens are able to breed, and then our 4-H'ers are able to exhibit and raise from that. So, while we have a moment today, I'd like to go ahead and thank our sponsor of the day today on Thursday. It's the Northeastern Group Realty, and they've been committed to serving Allen County and the surrounding communities since 2009, with the exciting addition of their Auburn office in 2019. Our Auburn Realtors are proud members of your community, dedicated to serving all your real estate needs with excellence and care. Our agents are honored to be voted the Reader's Choice #1 real estate company in 2025. Good luck to all the wonderful 4-H'ers, and enjoy making memories to last a lifetime. Thank you again, Northeastern Group Realty, for sponsoring our 4-H'ers for today. Once we complete our county-born market meat goat class, we'll go ahead and bring in our weight division champions and reserve champions to choose a grand and reserve grand overall for our meat goat show. We greatly appreciate our judge again, Tara Hummel, for coming over from Illinois to judge our youth today and their animals. And so we'll have our market portion, and then we will have our showmanship. Looks like our judge has placed our class, and we will hear her reasons.
We'll always love when we get to do some county born and raised. I think an awesome deal to get to show off, let the kids show off their projects just a little bit more. I think it makes it that much more special when they're ones coming right out of the county here. I think 3 nice ones all the way through, and again, ones that are doing the big things that we need to be doing, and then some, I think, all the way through our lineup. 3 nice ones amongst our class out here. One that starts us off, I think she's one that's awfully neat. Let her get out and go. I think she's just assembled awesome through that front 1/3. I love how neat we are about that head and neck. I think we're really tucked up and just elevated in terms of that chest floor. And from there back, everything fits together in just very smooth, very attractive package. We're still coming out here and plenty opened up through a rib cage, offering plenty in terms of muscularity all the way through. A nice one to get us started off. As we work our way into the one coming out here in second, another one off to the side you can appreciate a lot of pieces out of. She comes out here and just that much taller fronted and just more extended extended about her head and neck. We're that much longer bodied from there back, and I love those pieces about this one. I think we're falling just a little bit short and maybe not just quite as powerful through that one center body. We're not offering quite as much just in terms of from a muscularity standpoint, but still one that's able to get out and go with a lot of athleticism, put together an awesome look when you study her off to the side. As we continue into third, again, I think three awfully nice ones, and I appreciate all three of them coming out here. I think she's one that in terms of just length of body and just how tall fronted she is, you can definitely appreciate that about this one. Another one, when you study her off to the side, very smooth constructed. I like how neat we are and laid in about her shoulder. One that, again, I just want to see her powered up a little bit more. See her just a bit bolder through her rib cage, just a little bit more muscular up high. Three nice ones if you'd go ahead and congratulate all of them.
Your champion was Marissa Lerman, and her award is sponsored by Kara and Kylie Weingen in memory of our cousin Whitney Pfefferkorn. And your reserve champion was Kirsten Haynes. Her award is sponsored by Jeff and Cindy Campbell. We're going to go ahead and bring out our champion and reserve champions to show in our grand drive. From our lightweight division, we'll have Evan Polensky and the reserve Rylan Aubaugh. From our light medium, we'll have champion Brigham Yardell and our reserve Caden Brown. From our medium weight, champion Evan Polensky and reserve Isabella Aubaugh. From our heavy medium weight, champion Kirsten Haynes and reserve Emery Shadell. And from our heavyweight, we'll have champion Leroy Ruckman and our reserve Jenna Washler. And from our county board, we'll have our champion Marissa Lerman and our reserve Kirsten Haynes.
All right, this is getting into our champion drive for our meat goat show. So again, these were the champion and reserve champions for each of our respective weight divisions. So as they come towards the camera, we have the animal being exhibited for Evan Polchinski, and this animal weighed 55 pounds from our lightweight market meat goat division. Behind that animal is Brigham Yard from Class 2, with his animal weighing 65 pounds. Behind Brigham is Evan Polchinski, and from his Class 3 winner, and that animal weighed 71 pounds. Behind Evan is Kirsten Haynes in black, and this was from the heavy medium weight market meat goat division, with her animal that won Class 4 weighing 80 pounds. And then our next one behind Kirsten is Leroy Ruckman. This was our heavyweight market goat winner from Class 7, weighing 113 pounds. And then our last one in the lineup on the left is Marissa Lerman from our county-born class, weighing 84 pounds. So congratulations to all of our champions. Our reserve champions, closest to you, Rylan Aubaugh from Class 1, with her animal weighing 56 pounds. Caden Brown is next from Class 2, and his animal weighed 62 pounds. Our Class 3 winner was Isabella Aubaugh, and her animal weighed 70 pounds. Our next animal is from the heavy medium weight division, and that was Emery Shadell from Class 5, with her animal weighing 86 pounds. We then have Jenna Washler from the heavyweight market goat division, with her animal weighing 94 pounds. And last on the right is the animal that is being exhibited for Kirsten Haynes from the county born, with the animal weighing 93 pounds. So again, this is choosing the top 2 animals for our market meat goat show. This is going to be the animal that best exhibits the qualities our judges looking for. That strong, flat top line, that good, strong width between the chest, and going all the way back through the hips and through the rear end. You're looking for good, strong feet and legs that the animal can stand on. And you're looking as to how well the neck and the head ties into the shoulders. So you want something that flows smoothly. So that is what the judge is looking for when she goes and chooses our grand and reserve grand champion for this show. So she's now looking at the side profile, looking at the length of the animal, how well the feet are set, how well the kids are exhibiting them, and to choose our overall animal that best represents what today's standard for a market meat goat should look like. So let's see what her choice is here in just a moment. All right, looks like she's made her decision. Let's listen in.
Well, I think we've had an absolutely awesome market show coming out here, and all the ones that are making it back out in the ring, I think certainly speak to exactly that, and just the quality that's been out here. I've been very, very impressed from division to class on what's coming out here in the ring, and the ones we're getting to grab to bring back out here and represent their classes and their divisions. We get to grab a top 5. Love that we get to do that. I think there's definitely at least 5 that are deserving to get to walk out of here in that. But I think as we start kind of working our way through them, I've talked within classes kind of the big things that I'm after, and then some. I think there's some, if they're making it back out here, I think they're doing the big things that they absolutely need to be doing. And from there, I think all taking it to maybe just different levels and different extremes of some of those just added bells and whistles, some of that added show ring presence. Maybe some of them come out here and just offer that much more from a stoutness and a power standpoint. I'm all about any of them as long as we're doing the basics and checking off those boxes. Anything we can add on top of that is kind of what I go after. I think we have a champion that's coming out here and fits what I just kind of explained there extremely well. I think in terms of covering the basics and then those things awfully well. I think when you study that one off to the profile, still putting it together with an awfully neat look. As we start talking about reserve, I think there's another one doing a lot of those things extremely well. I think one that's able to get out and go with a lot of comfort and flexibility in motion, stops and props up and puts together a neat look, and then still comes out here with enough in terms of just genuine muscularity. As we start working through 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think the 3rd comes out here and is definitely just an outlier, one that grabs your attention awfully quick as soon as that one gets out here in the show ring. Just assembled awfully unique, kind of a hard to make kind when you want to talk about them from a look standpoint. Still coming out here and doing all the market basics that we need to be doing. And as we talk about 4th and 5th, I think they're definitely kind of opposites in terms of some of the things that they're coming out here and bringing to the table, but I think 2 nice ones as well. I think our 4th overall comes out here and just overwhelming in terms of foot size and stoutness, comes out with the right kind of body shape and overall muscularity. I think our 5th overall is going to come out here and is one that's just a really solid, problem-free kind of a goat, doing all those big things, but maybe not quite taking them to the same extreme and same out there level as the ones that come out here ahead. We'll go ahead and grab us a top 5 in order out here. Let's go ahead and put our hands together for all the exhibitors out here working awfully hard.
Your 5th overall was number 311, Leroy Ruckman. 4th overall, number 91, Brigham Yard. 3rd overall, Marissa Lerman, number 294. Your reserve grand champion meat goat was number 29, Emery Shadell. And your grand champion meat goat was number 10, Kirsten Haynes. We're going to be moving straight on into senior showmanship. In this class, we have Callista Albaugh, Leroy Ruckman, Evan Polinsky, Adeline Malcolm, Olivia Lerman, Ashlyn Comet, and James Clifford.
All right, so congratulations to our grand champion meat market goat winner, Kirsten Haynes, and that was with her animal from the heavy medium weight division, animal 17,372, and that animal weighed 80 pounds. Our reserve grand champion was from the same division, and that actually the same class. Nope, I lied, same division. And so that was Emery Shadell with her animal 17,390, weighing 86 pounds. So congratulations to Kirsten and Emery. Our third overall was Melissa Lerman, our winner from our county-born market meat goat class. Our fourth overall was Brigham Young, and that was from our light medium weight class. And then our fifth overall was Leroy Ruckman from our heavyweight division. So congratulations to our top 5 meat market goat exhibitors. We are now getting lined up and ready to begin our showmanship portion of the show. So the first portion of the show was based upon how the animal looked, how it walked, how well it was muscled. The second portion of our show for our market goat and follows suit with our dairy goat will be for how well the youth exhibit their animal.
Our Grand Champion Meat Goat Award was sponsored by Myra Muldaney and Cecil Freeburn, and our Reserve Grand Champion Meat Goat was sponsored by Cassie and Jason Brown family.
All right, and so now our judge is going to be evaluating how well our youth work with their animals, whether they can answer potentially questions she might have for them. How well they set up their animals, how well they work with them. So even if the animal is a little stubborn, like we have with a couple of our animals already, it'll be how well the youth really kind of go with the flow and are able to work with that animal. So this is our senior division with our 6 exhibitors. And so as they get going, the judge may ask them questions, may not. Some of the questions she could ask them are things like, how much does your animal weigh? What breed of goat do you have? Where are different cuts of meat on the animal? In the American Boer Goat Association, they have an actual show card for showmanship. So she may ask how many points different things are worth that are on that show card. And so showing your animal isn't just about showing the animal off. It's usually also about what knowledge you have of the type of goat that you're showing. So it's not just about those skills and those tricks to being able to show your animal to the best. It's about the knowledge that you know and what you know about the industry as well. So as we have the animals going around, a couple more fun facts for you for today is, since we were talking about the meat goat industry, the top producing state in the U.S. for meat goats is actually Texas. And so in the last year, Texas has had an inventory of close to about 725,000 head of meat market animals. They've had about 5,000 to 8,000 head of dairy goats, and then they've actually had almost 100,000 head of Angora or fiber type goats. So Texas by far has the most goats there. Next up is California with just over 125,000 head of goats, followed by Wisconsin, just about the same. And then the rest of the top 10 would be Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, Iowa, Georgia, Kentucky, and Ohio. So those are our top 10 goat states, goat inventory states in the U.S. And so for those of you that enjoy drinking coffee, you can thank goats for that. Discovery of coffee is attributed to Ethiopian goat herders who noticed that their goats would become more energetic after eating the coffee berries. So, next time you enjoy a cup of coffee, you can go ahead and thank the Ethiopian goats for becoming more bouncy and pouncy from eating those coffee berries. All right, so again, we're looking for showmen that are smooth with their movements, that are able to exhibit their goat to the best of their ability, may answer questions for the judge. Not sure if she's going to ask them questions or not, but that are going to be able to basically exhibit their animal well, have knowledge of their animal as we go through. And so it looks like our judge is starting to narrow down in her mind who our top showmen are for our senior division. Now the winner of our senior division we will see back again at the end of this show to try to participate in the premier class to choose who goes on to our super showmanship class or super showmanship show on Friday evening. So let's see how she places our exhibitors for senior showmanship.
Well, excited to get into showmanship out here, and I always love having showmanship after our normal show. Get the kids a little bit more time out in the ring before they get to come out here again for showmanship. So you get to see maybe just a little bit extra of the times they've been out here in the ring prior to coming back out here in showmanship. And I think I'm one that's kind of all about ones that are able to be just really consistent in terms of getting their goat set up out here in the ring and be able to just do it in an efficient and smooth manner. I think all of them are doing that to some degree and some level. I think the ones that rise to the top out here in showmanship in this class, and then as we keep working through our younger ages, again, are the ones that are able to just get the job done the most consistently and still just make it look comfortable out here. I think the one that starts us off does an awesome job of doing exactly that. When we have that one set up, I think it's exactly what I'm after. We get that head and neck up and out of them. We get the right kind of just pressure and drive out of them when we're standing off to the profile, getting all the feet set where we need them to do, all the basics, and then still comes out here and just very comfortable out here in the show ring. One that comes out here in second, definitely to maybe work just a little bit harder out here. Definitely goat that's not one to be a showmanship goat out here, but props to him for staying calm, just keeping it going and getting the job done. I think when this one is wanting to cooperate with them a little better, he gets them set up extremely well. I think the same kind of a deal. Gets that leg positioned on the front of that goat extremely well. We get the right kind of head and neck pressure just shown out of them, the right kind of drive. Again, we're just maybe not doing it quite as often as the one that starts us off. Again, appreciate him sticking with an awfully stubborn goat out here. As we start talking about the one and third, I think, again, in terms of just getting that one set up and looking the part, I think he does an awesome job. We always have the all 4 feet where they need to be. We're appropriately stretched out and have some drive out of them. We're getting that head and neck positioned up. I'd say I'm kind of a stickler in terms of how showmen position their legs on the front end of the goats. I want to see just a little bit more contact and a little bit more pressure into the lower chest of that goat. I think it just makes a nice clean line. It just gives you a little bit more control to get them just to drive a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficiently. consistently, but I think another showman that's been doing an awesome job all the way around out here. As we continue on down our lineup, young lady that comes out here next, again, in terms of doing the basics, I think she does an awesome job. I think her leg positioning on the front of the goat's awesome. I think we're covering up just enough and getting a position correctly to allow the goat still make a nice clean line there on the front end. I think this is the one big thing I want her to work on is just getting a little more drive out of the goat when we're off to the profile. It lets them just gather up and look like they're running uphill a little bit more. I think aside from that, she's doing an awesome job getting those feet set, working on that head and neck, and then again, just coming out here and showing she knows what she needs to be doing with just a very comfortable manner. As we talk the next two, again, I'm going to say some similar comments here. I want to see both of them just getting a little bit more drive out of these goats, but I think the young lady that comes out here next, in terms of consistently getting all 4 feet set and doing an awesome job on getting that head and neck positioned where it needs to be, which is definitely not an easy thing to remember and get done consistently out here in the show ring. I think we're doing an awesome job. One big thing is just getting that little bit more drive out of that goat. I think it'll make a big difference. Similarly, young lady coming out next, I love that we're comfortable out here. I know that she knows, she shows she knows what she needs to be doing. Again, just want to see things done just a little bit more consistently and just see her get it done just a little bit more efficiently. Once she gets that one set up, I think we're where we need to be. Just want to see it done in a little bit quicker manner. Awesome group of seniors to start us off. If you'd go ahead and congratulate all of them.
Your champion senior meat goat showman was Evan Polinsky, and your reserve champion was James Clifford. Our champion award is sponsored by Weller Electric, and our reserve is sponsored by Kenny and Cindy Furnish. Also, our champion senior meat goat showman will be coming back for our premier showman. We're going to be bringing in our intermediate meat goat showman. In this class, we have Isabella Abaugh, Marissa Lerman, Addison Carey, and Rylan Abaugh.
All right, congratulations to our senior champion and reserve champions. In the ring now are our intermediate showmen. So these are grades either 6 through 8, or they have won junior showman previously, as we see with exhibitor number 288. And so these showmen don't have quite as many years of tenure in 4-H potentially, but they're still excellent showmen, and so we will see how they compete for the judge this afternoon. And so it looks as these goats are walking around the ring. So our goats will walk around in a clockwise pattern, and you can see these goats are using halters. Most of them in the boar goat industry utilize the halters to lead their animals. What we'll see once we get to the dairy goats is they more commonly use collars to lead their goats. It's just kind of the industry standard and what they're used to being shown by. And so boar goats, meat goats are typically the halters, and the dairy goats are typically shown with collars. So we have one more division of showmen after this class, and that will be our junior showmen. That will be grades 3 through 5, and then we will go into our premier showmen. And so these are individuals that have either won senior showmanship in the past, either won the senior showman doe show this summer, or have been part of the premier showman class in years previous. So we look forward to seeing all of those exhibitors. And then we will end our meat goat show with kind of our transition period, having our mini 4-H'ers come in, or our future 4-H'ers, you could say, showing both dairy and meat goats for that class. So we look forward to seeing the future of our goat exhibitors come in. And so it's important to make sure when you're exhibiting showmanship and in the market classes that you always are aware of where the judge is, that you have eye contact, and that you make sure, especially once we get to the dairy goats, that you treat your goat like the cream filling of an Oreo. You want to make sure to keep the humans as the cookies and your goat as the cream filling. So it looks like our judge has chosen our intermediate showman. Let's hear her reasons.
Well, another great group coming out here for showmanship in our next age division. And I think, again, an awfully impressive group all the way through. Not the easiest thing in the world getting them all lined up. And I think a lot of it does come down to just some personal preference and maybe some just individual pet peeves of mine. I think all the way around they're doing the big things, again, that we need to be doing. Young lady that starts us off, like I talked about in the last class and division we had out here, I think she definitely is just an awfully good example of exactly what I'm after from the consistency standpoint. She's able to come out here and get that one shown in a very efficient manner and just continue to, every time I look, get a good look at that one. She knows what she needs to be doing and makes it look easy out here in the show ring, and I think we could probably all agree showing a goat's not the easiest thing in the world, so if you're able to come out here and make it look easy, I think that's awfully impressive. She does an awesome job of just showing that kind of experience and ring presence out here. Great one starting us off. As we work through the next one, she's definitely one, again, working with a goat that's not one to be a showmanship goat today. Again, I appreciate her being able to stay calm out here and keep working through it. I've dealt with plenty of kind of crazy goats and stubborn goats out in the show ring, so I think the biggest thing we can ask for is still just kind of trying to keep them calm and getting the job done. When this one does want to cooperate, I think she does a phenomenal job of getting that one shown off. I think her front leg positioning on the front end of that goat's awesome. Again, that happy medium of not covering up too much, but still making that nice clean line, just allowing to have a little bit more control, especially over some of those goats that are not wanting to cooperate quite as well. We get the right kind of drive and pressure, show off that head and neck extremely well. Young lady that comes out next, another one that's wanting to fight her a little bit, but I think, again, when we get this one stopped and propped up, she knows what she needs to be doing and does a great job. I think if we're going to be just a little critical, I want to see her just get a little bit more leg contact on the front end of that goat, just get a little bit more head and neck pressure there. I think we're doing an awesome job of getting some drive and getting some feet set out here in the show ring. Similar story, young lady that comes out next. I think another one that's done an awesome job of getting all 4 feet where they need to be, getting this one stretched out appropriately. I think another one I want to see just a little bit more leg contact and just see a little bit more drive out of this one. Love her comfortability out here in the show ring. 4 awesome showmen, if you'd go ahead and congratulate all of them.
Your champion intermediate meat goat showman was Isabella Aubaugh. Her award was sponsored by Kimmel Farms, Larry and Deb Kimmel. And your reserve was Marissa Lerman. Her award was sponsored by Mike and Pam Bimbo. We're going to go ahead and bring in our junior meat goat showman. In this class, we have Brigham Yard, Emery Shadell, Michael Aubaugh, Caden Brown, and Raiden Garrett. Just a reminder, we will be doing our Pee Wee show for both the meat and dairy goats immediately following premiere.
All right, in the ring now we have our junior showmen. So these are individuals from grades 3 to 5. And so these are the youngest of our 4-H exhibitors. We begin 4-H in grade 3, but we do have the mini 4-H program for those in kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade. So those are many of the people that we will see that will come in for the mini or future 4-Hers show that will, or class that will be in after our premier showman. So again, these individuals want to have good focus on our judge. Make sure we are bracing our goats as needed, getting their feet set up quickly and well, and that they're able to show their goats to the best of their abilities. And so again, we'd like to congratulate our intermediate showmanship champion and reserve champion. Our champion went to Isabella Allball, and reserve champion went to Marissa Lehrman. So again, for those that are just joining us, our judge today is Tara Hummel. She comes to us from Illinois, and she and her family grew up on her family's show goat and cattle operation, Hummel Livestock. She assists families across the country with their projects and serves as a district sales manager for Weifel's Hybrids, helping farmers find success on their farm. So greatly appreciate Tara coming over. Let's hear her placings.
Well, an awesome set of our juniors coming out here, and I think an awesome group all the way through. Not very normal. We have more guys coming out in the ring for showmanship than the girls, so props to all these guys for making it out here and doing a phenomenal job all the way through. Obviously, I don't think we always have the same expectations for some of our younger showmen as we do maybe some of those seniors, just not coming out here with that many more years of experience, but I think these guys are doing an awesome job, especially at this stage of the game. Those basics that I talked about of just getting the right kind of drive out of goats, getting the head and necks positioned, just getting them stretched out and all feet set where they need to be. I think all of them are doing that for the most part to one degree. I think the big things that kind of end up sorting them out here, who's able to just do it in a little bit more efficient manner, just maybe a little bit more smooth manner out here. I think our top two coming out doing an awesome job of both of those things. I think we were just a little bit more consistent and just got the job done maybe just a little bit quicker with the young man that starts us off out here. I think he does an awesome job in terms of how he positions himself up front. We do all of those things in terms of just making that goat look good when you stop and prop him up off to the side. I think, again, all the way around, just very comfortable out here. Young lady coming out next, again, when we get that one propped up, I think we're doing an awesome job. I think we can bring that leg just a little bit more around the front of that goat just to get a little bit more control up front and just be able to get him to drive a little harder and a little bit quicker. Aside from that, I think from there back, she does an awesome job. The next two coming out, definitely some of our stubborn goats again out here, and I think both of them, again, stuck with it awfully great. Young man that comes out next, I think in terms of just being able to prop that head and neck up just a little bit better, just get a little bit more drive out of this one. I think he's doing great there. I think if we're going to get picky, just working on getting all 4 feet set just a little bit quicker out here, but another phenomenal showman coming out in this showmanship class. Young man coming out next again. This one's giving him a run for his money. Appreciate him sticking with it and getting the job done. I think when this one's wanting to cooperate, he's doing an awesome job. I think when this one's wanting to fight, obviously it makes it awfully challenging for him. I think he knows what he needs to be doing, and I think that shows when this one wants to cooperate for that second or two. Another one doing an awesome job. Young man coming out here next, another one. We're covering the basics that we need to be doing extremely well. I want to see just a little more leg contact and just alter his position on the front of that goat ever so slightly. Another great class coming out here. If you'd go ahead and give all these guys a big round of applause.
Your reserve champion, junior meet showman, was Emery Shadell, and your champion was Caden Brown. Our champion award was sponsored by Kenny and Cindy Furnish, and our reserve was sponsored by Shell Machine and Firearm Service. Just a reminder, we'll be doing our Pee Wee Showman for both the dairy and the meat goats immediately following premiere. We're going to go ahead and bring in our premier showman now. This is Addison Brown, Kirsten Haynes, Charlotte Aubaugh, and our senior class winner, Evan Polinsky.
All right. So this is our premier showman class. These are individuals that have either just won our senior showmanship this evening, our Evan Polchinski, or have won the Summer Goat Doe Senior Meat Showman and have the opportunity to come in and show today, or have been a part of the Premier Showman before because they have leveled up by winning Senior Showman. So these are kind of the top of our showman for our meat goat category. And so you'll see just kind of a little bit different level of maybe some finesse, just how quickly they get some of their movements done, and just how they brace their animals and get them set up and ready for the judge to show or to take a look at. And so this will kind of be our final class of the meat goat portion of our goat show this evening. We'll have kind of a fun transition class in between the meat goats and the mini 4-H'ers. And then we will head into our dairy goat meat, dairy meat goat, there we go, dairy meat goat market classes. So. So as we look at our exhibitors in the ring right now, we have Addison Brown is to the front of the line. She was our Summer Goat Doe Senior Showman, so that is why she is here with us exhibiting this evening. We have Kirsten Haynes in the black. She is a former senior winner. She's been in the premier class for several years. Following her is Charlotte Aubaugh. She as well has won the Senior Goat Showman before, so that is why she is exhibiting in our premiere. And then the last in the lineup is Evan Polchinski. He won our Senior Showmanship class this evening, so that is why he has advanced to the premier level. So again, our judge is looking at how well they are getting their animals set up, how quickly they set them up, how well their animal, for the most part, behaves, how well they work with each other, because it is a teamwork that has to take place between you and your animal, no matter what animals you're showing. looks like she has her placings for our Premier Showman.
Well, exciting to be having these guys come out and get to work through the premier showmanship. I think all of them are definitely deserving to get to come out here and compete for that. I think an awfully challenging group to get lined up out here, and it is itty-bitty little things that get them all lined up from first to fourth. I think all four of them, again, are doing a phenomenal job. As we start breaking down kind of what I see just in terms of showmanship out here, I think the young lady that starts us off does an awesome job of just her presence out here. I'm all about the ones that are able to come out here and, like I've talked, be comfortable out here in the show ring, but still blend it with just the right amount of intensity out here and just the will to want to win. I think she does an awesome job of walking that line between those two things. She gets this one propped up extremely well, and like I've talked, it's big for me to be able to do it in a very smooth and efficient manner. I think she does all of those things extremely well. Young lady that comes out here next, I think one of those, when we get this goat propped up, she does exactly what I'm looking for. I love the positioning she has in terms of her leg on the front end of that goat. I think we're all doing an awesome job of getting that head and neck propped up from there back. I think everything falls into line, and she does it in a very smooth manner as well. I think the big difference between 1 and 2, we're maybe not just quite as efficient as our class winner out here. I think she's doing an awesome job as well, just maybe not quite as efficient. As we talk about the next two coming out here again, I think some awesome showmen all the way through. Young man that comes out here next, I think, again, maybe just takes a touch longer to get this one set up to where we need to be than I'd like to see. But, again, when he gets it there, it's exactly what I'm after. Young lady coming out here next, again, I think she knows exactly what she needs to be doing and does that. I think there's times that one's maybe wanting to fight with her a little bit. I think we can alter just the leg positioning on the front end there. An awesome premier showmanship, and excited to work through the peewees. Let's go ahead and congratulate those exhibitors.
Your premier showman was Kirsten Haynes. Next, we're going to bring in our next class of the most intense showmen of our county. These are the ones you got to watch out for. In no particular order, we have Zarlyn Murphy, Charlie Washler, Gavin Pearson, Allie Washler, Evelyn McCrae, Delaney McCrae, Naomi Nolt, Brent Wolf, Cole Crable, Elliot Hoover, Garrison Hoover, Nuggie Hyde, Knox McKenney, and Leona Yard. And Bennett McHenry.
Thank you. All right, so we are excited to have our mini showman out here in the ring. Again, out here we will see a mix of both our meat goat and our upcoming dairy goats being exhibited by these youth. These youth are those that are not quite aged yet to be able to be in regular 4-H. So they are in grades 2nd on down to even younger than that. So that is one of the great things about the goat project, is that as long as the goat is pretty well behaved, you can go ahead and be able to show them. My own son was helping, quote unquote, me show goats when he was barely 2 years old. So well-behaved goats are definitely great for use and for exhibition within the family. So we are excited to have all of these showmen in here tonight. So we have both of our judges for this evening in here helping evaluate the kids. We have, again, Tara Hummel. She has been our meat goat judge. And then we also have Jerry Leubenhusen. He is going to be our dairy goat market judge. So with this number of kids, it's great to have a partnership to be able to evaluate and talk to all of the kids. So we see many of our mini goat showmen have helpers with them tonight. And so that's just in case the goats get a little unruly. They've got some help to be able to help keep the goats somewhat under control. if needed. So many of these are using goats from family members or friends, and so they've gotten pointers and know the goats' names and probably the breed as well when they're out here talking to our judges. So you can really see in this class kind of the differences in the sizes and shapes between our meat goats and our upcoming dairy goats. So you see the dairy goats are definitely more, I guess you would call them feminine, a little bit more fine-boned than what our meat goats were, and for the most part are going to be just a little bit taller than what our meat goats were. And we'll talk a little bit more about dairy goats and what types there are when we get into that show. So if you are interested in joining 4-H, our enrollment period actually begins October 1st, so just next week. And so you can go to v2.4honline to find the state of Indiana and get enrolled in the 4-H program. Or you can go there and find whichever state you may be from, that you may be watching us from this evening. So if you are interested in becoming a part of 4-H, not just to exhibit animals, but to exhibit a whole bunch of other projects, from aerospace to baking to collections, if you'd love to collect pressed pennies or Hot Wheels cars, that's an option. Or if you like animals but don't have the space for them, you can do an animal education or a vet science poster. So there's a plethora of activities that you can do in 4-H, not just livestock. So we encourage you to join. Again, enrollment begins October 1st, and we encourage you to join by January 15th to get the best out of your 4-H experience. Again, the website can be found by visiting v2.4honline. And so our mini 4-Hers are doing a great job controlling their animals, making sure to talk to the judge, answer their questions, whether it's Miss Hummel or Mr. Lubenhusen. So they are doing a great job taking care of their animals, showing them to the judge, and having a fun time with it. Nope, we got one loose, but that's all right. We've got him caught now. All part of this fun. Looks like our judges are about done talking to our exhibitors. And I think all of our mini 4-H exhibitors have done a fantastic job out here with their goats, showing them to the judges, talking to the judges. So it's exciting to see the future of our 4-H goat project out here right now. And so again, thank you to our sponsor of the day today, the Northeastern Group Realty. They've been committed to serving Allen County and the surrounding communities since 2009, with the exciting addition of their Auburn office in 2019. Our Auburn Realtors are proud members of your community, dedicated to serving all your real estate needs with excellence and care. Our agents are honored to be voted the Reader's Choice #1 real estate company in 2025. Good luck to all the wonderful 4-H'ers and enjoy making memories to last a lifetime. Thank you again, Northeastern Group Realty, for being our sponsor of the day. All right, looks like both judges have just about made their way talking to each of the kids out here. It's a great opportunity for these kids to talk to and learn a little bit from each of our judges. All right, looks like our second judge is just starting to finish up. here's our judges.
Well, I think an awesome turnout coming out here for our Pee Wee showmanship. I can't say there's many shows or fairs that you get this much just interaction and this many kids that come out here for it. So I think that's absolutely awesome. We have this many young people interested in getting out here. And like we talked about, even within normal showmanship, as we keep moving down in the ages, it's kind of just about getting out in the ring. Every judge is going to run things maybe a little differently. Every show is just a little bit different from ring to ring and how things are ran. So just getting them out here and getting that little bit of experience to see if it's what they're about, what I think it's all about. So appreciate them all coming out here and doing an awesome job all the way through. Let's go ahead and give all these young exhibitors a big round of applause.
All right, we're going to get our mini showman out of the ring, and we will go ahead and transition over to our market dairy goat classes. So we will get that going here in just a moment. If you need to get up and get a stretch break, we'll meet you back here in less than 5 minutes.
That concludes the meat section of our goat show today. A huge thank you to our judge for our meat goats, Tara Hummel from Cabery, Illinois. She grew up on her family's show goat and cattle operation, Hummel Livestock, assisting families across the country with their projects, and is a district sales manager for Weifel's Hybrid, helping farmers find success on the farm. Once again, a huge thank you to our judge, Tara, for helping us out today. We're going to go